In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 leadership habits. You're going to learn what differentiates leaders from everyone else, and that's really going to support you to get to the next level. We are where we are regardless because of the habits that we have. So, what we consistently think about, we bring about, right? And so leaders are very special because they've really worked on their habits and really polished them. So they're really set up in a way that supports them to be that best version of themselves. And I think that's why people generally tend to respect and admire them. And then that's why they become or are known as leaders. My name is Yvonne and welcome to my channel. In this channel, we really are all about personal development, personal growth, and really helping people become the best version of themselves to lead a great quality of life. So if this is something that you're interested in, subscribe to join our community. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in to the first leadership habit, and that is that leaders overcome their fears. There's a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson that says, "Do the thing you fear. And if you do the thing you fear, the death of fear is certain." And I totally agree with that. You see, if we do the thing we fear, our self-respect and our self-esteem just increases naturally. For example, and it doesn't have to be something completely, exotic or anything. It could be something as simple as being true to yourself, being true to what you stand for and your values. In this culture, it's kind of actually, they call it a cancel culture, and they call it a culture of censorship. And that's just becoming very popular these days. Well, leaders are really stepping up. And they are the voices to defend their communities, to defend their families, and really speak out against what's going on, this destruction of traditional family values. And they're really turning from sheep to lions and lionesses. And you're going to hear them roar a lot louder as these days continue because they're sick of it. And we need more leaders. So if this message is resonating with you, just know that it's time. And that's actually what's inspired me to make this video, is just to let you know that we need you. We need you, leaders, to step up and speak to your values. We need leaders now more than ever. That's why I've chosen overcoming our fears as the first leadership habit. Now, the second leadership habit is continuous improvement. You see, leaders are always looking to improve themselves and just get better and become the best version of themselves. And one way that, because you might say, well, that's all fine and good, Yvonne, but where do I start? Well, why don't you start with just paying attention to the qualities that you admire in others? So I'll give you an example. I really admired that a friend of mine, she would always show up on time. So when we would plan to meet for lunch, she was just relaxing in the lobby. And here I was still, searching for parking. And I'd text her and say, I'm almost there. I'm just trying to get parking. And, I'd come in all frazzled, apologizing. I'm so sorry I'm late, and come up with an excuse that there was a lot of traffic. And what's really happening is I felt bad. I felt bad for her, and I was embarrassed for myself. And I knew something had to change. So because I admired that she was always on time, that was a clue for me on what quality I needed to or wanted to work on. So for you, maybe it's not being on time. Maybe you just admire a friend that always looks put together. Right? It doesn't matter where you guys are going or where she or he is at. They always just look sharp. And so you admire that. Well, that's a clue and a key indicator of something that you want to work on in yourself. Or maybe they're a person that always tends to start and finish projects. Or you come visit them at any hour and their home is always guest ready. They're always so organized. And you realize, geez, I really admire this person because they're always so organized. Well, there you go. That's a clue. That's a quality that maybe you want to start exploring and improving within yourself. So continuous improvement, which leads me to the third leadership habit, and that is acting as if. Once you identify the quality that you want to work on, act as if you already have that quality. And it really becomes an identity shift. It's shifting your paradigm, and you're really stepping into and embodying this new identity. For example, I wanted to work on being on time. So I had to ask myself, okay, a person that is on time, how do they rearrange and arrange their schedule to accommodate for that? And so I had to step into the shoes of someone that's already on time and think from that identity, you see? And so as I thought from that identity, then things began easier for me to schedule. So I knew, okay, I have to plan time for getting dressed, putting on my makeup, getting fixed up, travel time, how long is it going to take me to get there, and then settling in time, right? So I knew, okay, in order for me to get on time to this appointment, this is my drop dead time that I absolutely have to start getting ready. And it made the experience a lot smoother, and I was on time more consistently. And again, maybe for you, that's not it. Maybe for you, it's being a morning person. Maybe you hear yourself saying, oh, I'm not a morning person. Oh, I'm not a morning person. But secretly you admire your friend, right? That is a morning person. And you're like, geez, that person is so productive. They get so much done. They even exercise in the morning. They do journal writing. They read. They get so much done in the morning. And you admire that. Well, guess what? That means that there's something within you that's curious and is wanting that for yourself too. And so instead of saying, I'm not a morning person, say, I am a morning person. And you are. Maybe not your current self, but your future self is. And remember, you want to think from that goal, okay? Think from that morning person. And once you step into those shoes and you think from that morning person, you realize, wait a second, it's not just a morning routine for me to wake up at, let's say, 5 o'clock in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to get the day started. It's not just about setting an alarm at 5. It's my evening routine, right? To set me up for success. That means I've got to do some things to prepare to get to bed on time, to get my gym shoes out, make sure I have my laundry done. So I have my gym workout. So all of these things really come into the fore once you start embodying this new identity. That leads me to the fourth leadership habit, which is leaders have vision. You notice that most people don't have a vision, but leaders do. And what do I mean by that? Well, and how do you get a vision? A vision is something that you achieve when you're able to project into the future, project forward. For instance, what does that future person have around them, a year, 3 years, 5 years from now? What do you want to be, do, and have? Okay. And really use your imagination, and, anything's possible. So think of all the possibilities for yourself in that future self, right? So if you didn't have a limitation on time, money, resources, or skills, what could be possible for you, right? And you want to engage your 5 senses and get emotional on that. So imagine yourself living in your dream home and really enjoying your dream home. Imagine yourself in your ideal weight. How amazing would that be, right? Or you're enjoying that love and passion with your romantic partner, with your soulmate. And, all of these possibilities. Maybe you want to travel. So imagine yourself in the bazaar of an exotic place you want to be at, right? And let's say Bali, and you imagine yourself kind of shopping there and meeting new people. Okay, so get excited. That's what I mean, right? And so that's a vision. That's a vision. So it doesn't take a lot. And setting a vision is free, okay? So start from there, and you're going to realize that once you're clear and you're crisp on your vision, it's a lot easier for people to support you because you're clear. You see, most people don't spend time in really getting clear with what they really want because, they're not engaging their imagination. Okay, so don't be afraid to engage your imagination and the possibilities for you, because that is how you get a vision. And so now the fifth leadership habit is emotional intelligence. Many times it's easy to get into blaming others or playing the victim when things don't work out exactly how we want it to. And so instead of getting angry or frustrated or upset, really say to yourself these words: I am responsible. I am responsible. Oh, you might say, well, hold on, Yvonne. I'm not responsible. This person did this to me, da 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 da. I can't believe it. It's not fair. And I'll tell you, yes, you are responsible, and continue to say, I am responsible, because you are responsible for how you respond to any situation that's happening outside of you. You're responsible for your thoughts, and you're responsible for your actions, and you're responsible for how you respond. So you can't control the other person. And there's many circumstances in life, guess what, that we can't control. But we can control ourselves. And so let's start from there. And I've always admired people that have that sense of objectivity and that clear-headedness because they come from that space and they respond and make decisions from that clear objectivity. In the place that I work now, I always admire this one leader. He has a lot of responsibility as a director, and yet people come to him with all kinds of problems and issues that come up. And he's always, first of all, a great listener. And second of all, very objective in providing solutions, because he's able to step out of that situation and really look at it, holistically. And so that's what leaders do. So in conclusion, the 5 leadership habits are, do you remember? Well, first is certainly overcoming our fears. The second one is continuous improvement. The third is acting as if. The fourth is having a vision. And the fifth is emotional intelligence. So if you want to continue to work through these habits, I encourage you to enroll in my Goal Mastery program. It's really going to support you in your journey. And if you enjoyed this video, click on the like button. I would really appreciate it because that shows your support. And also subscribe so you're notified on new videos. And I'll see you on the next one.